nice nickname, Bill the Butcher. Well, one of the nicknames. They used to call me when I was a little kid, Simon, Simple Simon, right? Well, anyway, go on, see. Don't want is the response. How are you? You say, fine, I'm fine. Well, I'm going to read first the poems that are in here. Well, two of them, and then I'll read some other things. And first I got to find the right page. I didn't bring my reading glasses, so you have to bear with me. This is, thank you to University of Arizona Press for publishing Sing, Poetry, Indigenous Poetry from North, Central, and South America. The whole of the Americas sings through its indigenous peoples. That's a great poem, isn't it? These are poems from an ongoing project that I'm doing with a photographer. And the first poem is, I've been here before. Something in the bone remembers, and the hands and arms. Stone, canyon, a sandstone bluff south of here, where the canyon opens onto the desert plain. And in the small wind I am conscious of as I top the ridge right below the sandstone shelf the little village is built upon. And I listen for anything, wherever this place is. It could be southern Arizona. It could be some miles from the Four Corners. What is now called Four Corners? It could be Utah, also. Same place, same place. That's what I think. But perhaps I'm trying to tie myself personally to this same place. A tie, a link, a connection. But I don't know. I'm indigenous to this region of the Southwest. Uncle is south, quite a bit south of that place. Same place. Something in the bone remembers. When I see the walls of the little village, I remember my ancestor must have thought the same as I have. I've been here before. Scraggy and tough pinon tree anchored into the stone. The jay chirp and screech 1,000 years ago, perhaps. 1,000 wilds that become part of the notion of forever. Something in the bone remembers, always remembers. And the second poem, Horizon. Thin fur at the very top, not far away. Horizons are always like that, close, standing on this ground or little road. We are the ground and the little road. We are the horizon. When I was appointed travel interpreter, translator for the tribe by the Antelope elders, my cousin brother Bobby showed me which brush thicket to approach so I could gather material for prayer sticks. Hard, tough, finger-sized branches. Tua, Robert said, pointing, and he took some cornmeal from the bag at his side, and I did the same, following him. Always, he said, you have to ask permission and pray, pray, pray thanks. He began to murmur, and I did the same, following him. Canyon sides are steep, crumbling cliffs of sandstone, fir standing straight up on the slanting canyon slopes. Yes, just like the canyon sides where the brush grew. Wind and birds, and sun at midday. Shadows are close to the stone. It hasn't rained for weeks or months. You can tell by the air. Be thankful anyway. Beyond the horizon to the west, the sky is empty, blue shadows close to cliffstone. Once as boys, my brothers and I went for wood toward Chancaya. Charlie and Bill, our wagon plow general workhorses, up the winding road through canyon south of McCarty Day School. My younger brothers, Gilly we used to call him that until years later when he became Petochi and Earl, the youngest, and me. I was about 14 years old. Several miles southeast of Chancaya, suddenly the wagon wheel struck a big stone boulder, jerking the wagon tongue violently. Damn it, we could hear the crack. I immediately pulled back the reins and applied the handbrake. We stopped, and I jumped off the wagon to check the tongue. It split toward the front and extending back toward the front of the wagon. Broken wagon tongue. A disaster. Breathe deep. What are we going to do? It happens. It happens. Boys, we, us, feeling at a total loss. What to do? What to do? I looked around and thought and thought. We had come to a halt by a stand of dry piñons and juniper. That's where we were. I looked around and I knew where we were. There was a canyon not far away where old man Pauchua had a sheep camp. I said to Gilly and Earl, go and get wire. If Pauchua is there, ask him for wire. Say we need wire to fix a broken wagon tongue so we can drive home. Also find a straight board to make a brace. In the meantime, I'll get wood and load the wagon. And I pointed the direction where they were to go into the canyon. Here in this canyon, there are firs. The elevation is higher. Horizon is still the horizon. At home, the mesas above Diziama have juniper and piñon. It's dry just like here too. Horizon is the ground and the little road. We are right there, a mile and a half from where the canyon begins and where you follow a little road downward into the flat, dry land below. And then I want to read a poem that is written by a poet who's not here, who wanted to be here, but she couldn't be because she lives in Portland, Oregon. And that's my daughter, who's a very good writer and taller than me and more beautiful than me. Her name is Sarah Maria Ortiz, who has been actually in the Tucson area maybe a year or two ago when she did some poetry and storytelling and writing things with in the T-Hole community. And this is a poem that's included in here. It's called Chord. And her poems are obviously different than mine. Chord. Let the frame of things disjoint. The chord of memory is this. Aorta, capillaries, silky, wet, red-black membrane of the eye socket without its eye. Little, terrible, beautiful miracle of this, a temporal partial loss of my peripheral vision. I was warned repeatedly by books, by doctors, by other mothers, and all those who knew about the drugs that would be administered before giving birth, warned about the long needles, the likelihood of this or that, the way the drugs themselves would not take the pain away, no, not take it away at all, only change it, thus changing the birth itself and its processes, thus altering even the light or lack thereof in the birthing room. Every lens is altered. Thus I could not see the child body, my child body bringing her little life, little eyes, a cloudy black, dark, watery blue, little hands, little heart into the world as they actually were, But I think this now, that in the way all things are altered, pain, lenses, light, little heart, some way this too, all flux as it lives for us and through us, is good and beautiful. She and I, we came alive to the world that day, and we still are, marrow, marrow, and marrow. So much turns on light, or lack of light. So much turns on the presence of light, or its marked absence. Such light, who can know it? And Sarah says hi to everybody.